Where did that cookie come from?
Space.
Love space.
It's made of cookies.
That's why NASA's keeping it for themselves.
And that's why Cosmic Latte is, in fact, Cosmic Cookie.
The Milky Way.
Mm-hmm.
So Cookie Clicker was right.
This goes all the way to the top.
Today, on Talking Simulator, we're here to play Gloomhaven.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't recall streaming this, but we already owned the game and it had 3 hours of playtime on it.
Mm-hmm. You were not here one week, and you told me to play it.
Yeah, and I didn't think you did.
I did.
All right. So, how is it?
It's exactly Gloomhaven.
Did you play your Orchid Spellweaver?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because the minimum party size is 2. So I played Spellweaver and, God, what was his actual class name? Nice Greg.
Oh, Earth Butt.
Yeah, Boulder.
Chunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Dirt Tornado.
Mm-hmm.
Craig Hart. Yes, that was his name. Craig Hart. So should I, scoot home and then join remotely?
Do they have a hot seat option?
Multiplayer. Gloomhaven sounds awfully fizzy.
And refreshing.
Crisp.
You know, there are some days where I'm just like, I could really go for the cool, refreshing flavor of a fresh Gloomhaven.
You can turn crossplay off. That's accessibility. Don't need any of your stinking, Nintendo friends mucking up your serious tactical adventure.
I thought we were calling crossplay gender flipped characters now. I come from the 90s.
Gender bender was a legitimate tag. It should be supported.
Am I thinking of something else?
No.
No?
Advanced. What's in here? We have 0 light pixels.
Don't. Is that because we didn't hustle?
We only bought half the textures?
Look, I mean, we didn't have Gloomcoin.
Why couldn't we afford anisotropic textures?
Look, James bought this computer 6 weeks ago, and it's already
Can't even play Alan Wake.
Yeah, no. It's only got a GTX 5090.
We got the soft particles. Oh.
I prefer when my particles are smooth.
You like smooth particles?
I mean, I like both kinds, soft and smooth.
Soft and smooth. Not hard and scratchy like the real world.
No.
Probes. Probes are fun. As it's not ray tracing. But it's light ray tracing.
Is it capital N not capital R ray tracing?
Hashtag not ray tracing. Yeah, it's
like legally distinct ray tracing?
Because you set a grid up and you only check certain intersecting points instead of all things forever.
Okay.
It's rays don't have mass. They don't take up space. They just are very math intensive. So you can use probes for like lighting and shadows, and in this case, reflection, which I don't even know if we need. Like, how many mirrors are there in this? Are we like Doom
I
guy?
assume it's like puddles, probably for water.
Yeah. So we get the blurry blobs of our people.
They'll just render the scene upside down.
No shadows. Which is good because then we can't be invaded by evil doppelgangers.
It's true.
Skin weights.
One bone. What does that mean?
You do?
Do not want to know.
You don't want to know?
I just enjoy this.
But bone weighting is great. Weighting is like one of the most fun things you can do in modeling, especially if
I
you
assume
have, like,
this is like weighting in the
jangly
statistical sense where
It's-
you are. Okay, now I do want to
It's
know.
how much the movement of a bone influences the vertices on the shell.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So like when your arm moves with your arm instead of like flopping,
Oh, okay.
you know, have floppy skin. But for things like cloaks or hair, those have usually got like heavy weight up on the part where they touch the body, and then
Right.
no weight at the end, so that you can
so they, like-
swing them around.
Right. Okay.
Mangled Pixel disagrees.
Painting skin weights is so frigging
But it's so
tedious.
funny when you get it wrong because you could like start walking and just leave your shoulder behind.
Huh. I remember watching a comic artist like way back in the day. You know, when everyone had a web comic, but he was going to school to be an animator, and he had made himself, and he made his character like do a front flip,
Right.
and his character's shirt flew off, and he was like, "I thought this was just like an interesting thing that I didn't like ask it to do."
Well,
Yeah.
then did he learn how to do that to like get undressed every day?
No. I mean that would be really handy, right?
Are skin weight issues responsible for spaghettification? They can be, but they're usually pretty obvious when they are. It's usually just something getting fungled in the math that leaves vertices behind. Like if you're doing something that moves really fast, it's hard to get the precision required. Or if you have, like, a lot of that kind of stuff is, it's like something hard is intersecting with something else hard, which is impossible. So it tries to separate them really fast,
Oh.
and then you're going very fast. One of these bodies is not moving, and the other body is moving in so many directions that, it doesn't know what to do.
Interesting.
It's trying very hard.
I can do a
logs.
dot product.
It's one of
That's
the most
basically I can do
useful
linear
things.
algebra and a dot product, and that's like where my knowledge
Yeah.
stopped. But if you need something integrated,
I don't, not today.
no. Okay.
I'm reading a light novel, and a man has been isekai'd to a fantasy universe, and he's trying to teach someone Maxwell's equations.
Awfully hard if they don't have the calculus.
Yeah, they had to start with calculus. Well, they started earlier, but the thankfully none of this activity has been described. It's just like, all right, I have to hit these things in order so that I can get to Maxwell's equations. It doesn't describe what Maxwell's equations are for.
Yeah, and then you have
Just-
to like explain imaginary numbers. It's like, so when you integrate it, then you get the imaginary component of the electric field, which will tell you like, you know, how many things are being absorbed.
What is this light novel? Do I still have it? No, that's a different book.
I could also do a cross product.
Ends of Magic, Book 1, Anti-Mage.
Oh.
That's how you get Uh, come on. Where is it? Yeah, that's how you get a reading streak like that.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Ah. Maxwell's Demon is one of my favorite things. I like Demon Observers and I like Maxwell's Demon.
My favorite thing that we've ever done with that is the one where Paul is inside, like, I think it was for a Loading Ready Live, like an ad, where we were advertising an air conditioner.
Yeah.
And it just had Paul with demon horns examining marbles and being like, hot, cold, hot.
Legionella. Mm-hmm. Like,
look, they'll try to tell you that you can't drink the water inside your air conditioning, but that water is yours. You own it. The government can't tell you not to drink it.
Well, they can, but they can't stop you.
Yeah, exactly.
Once you pop that baby open, it's all yours.
Yep.
Mm.
It's because it's liquid, it's covered by Admiralty law.
It's like how you can drink drive in international waters. All right. I think all of these things are good for combat.
Yeah. The only thing that I ran into when I played it was that you can punt your entire game with a misclick. And if there's a setting that allows you to, like, more confirmations, second click hex to confirm, enable. Because it's like, no.
Yeah.
Sorry, you moved here.
We get tab highlighting. We can ping our invisible friend. I'm just going to continue from where you were playing.
All right.
Were you playing campaign?
I was. So we played Gloomhaven for what, like 2 or 3 years?
There was a gap in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Hawkmoth.
Nice Greg is just such a great name.
City encounter. Dun dun.
I've been told you are the group to talk to if you want to get something done around here. You look up from your table at the Sleepy Lion to see a rustic man in leather armor standing in front of you. Rustic man. He's a rustic-looking man. This tavern may as well be your office due to the number of people coming through the doors looking for your help. Oh, you're that guy. You're the guy who's just on a business call in the Starbucks. Yelling.
But looking rustic. He's a lumberjack in the Starbucks yelling into his phone, into his Bluetooth headset.
I had one of those guys
crossed.
this morning. He was yelling and he was looking like he looked at us dirty because we were at the next table having a conversation. Like, I'm trying to be on a call here.
Okay. Yep. All right.
The EP Lion, yes. My brother went out hunting in the Corpsewood 2 days ago and hasn't returned since. Why do they call it that? I fear the worst. If you're traveling in that direction, I hope you wouldn't mind keeping an eye out for him.
I think danger increases towards the center in that situation.
Yeah. Isn't it a Copsewood? Maybe it's supposed to be Copsewood in the
But if it's a cops, then it's not a wood. This wood is full of cops.
ACWAB. AQUAB.
Quab!
AQUAB.
I don't know how to... Is this carcinization? All crabs are become?
Well, I mean, somebody pointed out to me that mammals don't...
Mammals don't do clicky clacks.
Well, they don't convergently evolve into crabs.
It's mustelids.
Mustelids.
Yeah.
Mustelidization is what happens to us.
Yeah, we turn into weasels.
Yeah, we want to get longer and thinner with more wedge-like skulls.
And little grabbers.
Yep. Love to be a weasel.
They're so small.
Could I be a sable?
And
that way you could make paintbrushes out of me.
a fisher showed up at my parents' house one time. Just like big claws.
There was a comic series a decade ago. I think it might still be going, called Mouse Guard.
Right.
And they were kind of like engaged in a cold war with the Mustelid kingdom next door.
Mustelids.
And it was the artist just did a really good job of like making them look slightly Byzantine,
Right.
as opposed to like the Northern European mice.
Right.
Who were kind of like dressed like hobbits, maybe a little bit.
A little bit. Little,
But like, and
Sherwood
also they were
Forest.
fucking huge, right? They like the ferrets were just enormous. You looked at them and you were like, ah, shit.
That's like how Redwall has like jaguars.
Right. Also, it had a really cool fight in one of the comics against a snowy owl,
Ooh.
and it was kind of like a dragon fight, I guess.
A silent killer.
Yeah. Oh, really? The Mouse Guard guy's still out there. Okay, cool. I kind of preferred it to Redwall.
I want this man to give me money.
Yeah.
You should go to the corpse wood for free because I need
Yeah.
help.
What do you mean you mercenaries aren't going to go look for my brother in the corpse wood?
So we have to do Crypt of Damned. Let's do this.
The Crypt of Demanded.
This crypt? Damned. Damn crypt.
You see a lone wagon off to the side of the road up ahead. You approach cautiously. As you near, a jovial man with a white hat waves at you. Ho there, what'd you say to me? I don't suppose you have any expertise in fixing a broken axle. This road wasn't even that bumpy, and then BAM! The man claps his hands together. Just splits in half. I need to have all these goods up north in 2 days, and I'm just at a loss about how to get myself out of this pickle.
Should we exhaust ourselves for his benefit?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right.
You happily agree to help the man, but quickly realize you don't know what you are doing. The man thanks you anyway, and you move on. I like that. Like, I like the one that we got where,
We needed an elemental.
yeah, we needed some kind of, like, the guy is...
Hey, you want to help me with my foundry? And then you show up and it's like,
Proclamations of a gloom do not sit well in
And
your stomach as
it
you
actually
search
goes
the
out of its way to say that he's kind of confused as to
Something
why
here
you thought
holds
you
an
would be able to
interest
help.
for these maniacs.
maybe his office works like our office.
Maybe.
You are somewhat surprised to find the ruins of an ancient crypt half covered in moss and
Are we
ivy.
Scottish?
The history of this place is old and dark. With no other information to go on, you head down into the depths.
Down.
Whatever these supposed bandits are up to, you're determined to find out. Even after you stumble across a large group of them, along with some reanimated dead at the bottom of the stairs.
I've been watching the US version of a show called The Traders, which is Werewolf, but a game show. And it's the American one's hosted by Alan Cumming, and he's pushing that accent. He's just I've seen him in so many shows, but now he's really Scottish.
Good. Good for him. Man. I loved his Nightcrawler. That was Alan Cumming, right? He was Nightcrawler in X2?
Yes.
Also, he's the reason why I spin pens.
Because of Nightcrawler?
Because of GoldenEye,
Ooh.
where he was the Russian hacker who like would
Yeah.
twirl a pen and click it. I was like, that looks fun. I'm going to learn how to do that. And that was, that was a better fidget for me.
Undamaged monster. Murder. Loot 5 or more gold piles. Great. Oh.
Boris, yes. I think we can do that.
Yes. Yes, I'm invincible. Every time I say I'm invincible, I expect to be
You've
crushed by a
made
ton of ice.
mistake coming here, one of the bandits hisses. You disagree. You are right where you want to be.
I am where I want to be. Let's get nice Greg in there first. Let's upheave Al. If we can. Can I go? Oh, I have to pick what I want to do first?
Yeah, to
All right.
determine initiative. Save it.
So. Why would I do that? Two. Yes. And that.
Oh, the order you choose them in determines also what order, like which initiative you're going to use. So Nice Greg is currently going at 41.
Target 3. Fire!
Do you want to... You want Nice Greg going last?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to, wait, no. I can move, but like over here. Doo-doo-doo. And then I wanted to, wait, this is the one I wanted. No, it's all right. Just get moving. I'll figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
Boop. I win.
You do.
All right, so I wanted this, and then checkers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Eat it. And then just a base attack. And then they do stuff to me.
Mm.
I'm kind of trying to evaluate if we could have used this.
Yeah, well, I mean, my conclusion with this was that this is exactly Gloomhaven. And it is so much better than trying to play the board game.
There's a lot less stuff.
Mm-hmm. And the rules are less ambiguous. I found Gloomhaven, I guess I've been spoiled by Magic, which has very, like, explicit and carefully written rules for the most part.
Right.
Because I found this just, like, unclear a lot of the time. Like, it was very abundantly clear that the game expected things to be run very tightly.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Hello. Oh, they're so slow. Right in the butt. Oh, look at it doing all this for me.
Yeah.
Where's-
All right, you can shoot around corners like that. Interesting.
Well, it's this corner
Yeah.
of the from.
Oh,
that-
I get how it's drawn.
Get. Wee. Loot.
Ah! Hmm. I would bring up frost armor.
I'm healing Greg.
Oh, okay. I think, yeah, dirt tornado.
Yeah, tornado that full of dirt over there. That's... Yeah. Rude.
Quite.
How dare! Welcome, Raiders.
Ooh, yeah. Hello. Yeah, I think we just blast him. He's shielded, but...
Maybe I should have done that first, because then it would get life up and it would have gotten
Oh, yeah.
one extra attack.
Okay,
Yeah, the
see, like-
sequencing thing.
Another thing. Notice how now the elemental, the indication of elemental infusion
Is
in
down?
a card. No, on the card where it says like this will consume an elemental infusion.
That thing.
Yeah. For the Spellweaver, it has 6 slices of pie.
Yeah.
It's divided into like into 60-degree segments. In the board game, it is 4. And I was never clear whether it was supposed to consume every flavor.
Yeah, it was a multi.
It was
wild
type
card.
agnostic.
Yeah.
Okay. Or whether it was supposed to be the only those 4.
No, that was just straight up like on the back of the rule book.
Okay.
Do you want to take over? Nope.
Nope.
All right.
Long rest.
So that's on either side of you.
Hmm.
So
I mean, you could push the cultist into the trap.
I don't have green up.
Oh, yeah.
Can I spin? Yeah. Spin it to win it. Up, down. Ooh, hello. We're very close now.
Hmm.
Muddled. Muddled. Disadvantage. Alright. Meow.
Me?
Meow.
Man.
Good that they have disadvantage on attacks. Move, attack, range. I like that you can just mouse over a unit and see what they're going to do. Where do I see, like, can I pull back up what they drew?
Hmm.
That would be cool.
Oh, so you could see, like, if they had hit all their crits.
I just want to see what all of the enemies, because like when it drew them out, all in a square thing, or in a line on their turn.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm getting that impression, Gaz, that it wants you to be super efficient, even in the early missions, and so it feels a little unfair, even though like I'm deliberately playing loose just to get a feel of the game, but that feeling is so far pretty gross.
Yeah, I think Gloomhaven is quite unambiguous in how hardcore it wants to be.
All the way.
Yeah. Like, most of the missions that we got through felt like they were always just by the skin of our teeth. Which on one hand, is fairly impressive game balance. But on the other hand, I don't always want my board games to be a sweat fest.
Whoa.
There actually is a difficulty adjustment where you can select which mechanics you're using.
Where is that? How do I get there?
It's at game start, I think. Select which card to burn. Not that one.
You sure? Yeah.
I mean, I would bring up Frost Armor, I think. To infuse Frost, and then... Let's see, Mana Bolt is gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to go early.
Move 2. So that's a little bit of damage spread out, but... I get a short rest.
Some think a good co-op has like a 30% win rate. For
co-op. Redoing a mission is morale destroying.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you have a variety of... If you have a spectrum of players in your group, like finding 4 like-minded people who want to play Gloomhaven and are like, yeah, I like a sweat fest. Great. If it's 3 of you and then the one person you managed to convince to come along, and you're like, yeah, we got so close, and the other person is just like...
That's the screen I was talking about. I want to see
okay.
all of the enemy moves at the same time, which was the advantage we had with cards.
Mm-hmm.
But in here, I have to individually mouse over, and it doesn't like highlight the units when it.
Oh yeah. Like you would want it to highlight the.
I want. Where are
Who
the
is who?
skeletons? I can't see the skeletons. Where are the skeletons?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that that's a skeleton, and that's a skeleton, but.
They have 4 arms.
Or is it 3?
I guess it's 3.
Maybe they. Like. Had an odd number. Like, they were like, we can't divide 5 arms up correctly. You can keep your 2, and I'll take the third one.
I mean,
And
I
this
guess
just keeps happening because they're skeletons and they're dumb.
was it Guild Wars where the necromancers didn't raise like zombies or skeletons? They raised like a flesh pile.
I mean, I feel like that's what would happen.
I mean, I thought it was interesting, right? It's like, whatever, you've got corpses of, it's a fantasy world. You've got like elves and orcs and
And flesh piles.
yeah, and other things. It's like, no matter what's there, you're going to be able to make this thing, right? It's a general undead lump.
Yeah, I still really appreciate Iron Council for flesh elementals. Because just a flesh elemental. Just mobile flesh. Because, like, yeah, sure, an earth elemental. Rocks are lots of stuff.
Yeah. Man, I should read more China Miéville.
Meh.
I'm kind of surprised that Perdido Street Station hasn't been picked up for like.
I bet
Some
people
kind-
have been trying.
Yeah, I
bet.
mean, like, I guess I shouldn't say I'm surprised that it hasn't been picked up for like a Netflix streaming or some kind of streaming service adaptation. But also, I'm not, from what I know of him.
He has a novel coming out with Keanu Reeves.
Cool.
They wrote it together, or is he? Yeah. Okay, so it's set in Keanu's comic book universe.
Man, I love those words. Meatloaf, but it's a golem. Yeah, basically.
Right? Yeah, that's yeah. Except not ground beef. I'm thinking more like long fiber muscles.
Why do we call it land war instead of ground beef?
Makes you think.
Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe.
Yeah, can you put Sloppy Joe in like a bag or something? He's leaking all over.
Looking into it.
Has anyone read Vampire the Masquerade Blood Sigils?
I have not.
Are there meat golems?
I mean, I suppose in a certain respect, I am a blood sigil.
You know, in some ways.
My blood currently has a shape.
Ooh. And I guess it's unique, wouldn't you say?
I suppose so.
It's like a fingerprint. Your cardiovascular system.
Or, you know, the Watchman, a human circulatory system walks through the...
Yeah. Imagine working there. You're like doing nuclear physics, and then there's just a
Yeah,
circulatory system ambling about.
and you're just like, fucking whatever, man.
Yeah, don't touch any of the surfaces. You'll leave circulatory prints on it.
Ew.
Ugh.
The guy who coughed up a blood clot shaped like his bronchial
It's
system.
huge. It's like that big, and it's got like the spider webs because it's just like the inverse of the lungs.
Right.
But I don't know, like, coughing that up must have felt like dying.
Yeah. Like, there is something inside of me trying to get out. Like, you would have to cough it up through, like, multiple, like, things that are supposed to prevent things from going in there.
I'm not going to tell you where to look for photos of that.
You have a screaming room?
Jealous of screaming room. I don't even get a scream hole or like a jar, like one of those art
I mean, I guess
jars that you
Studio-
stick your face in.
Studio B is reasonably... Could Studio...
I think they're using it right now.
So?
Is it like one of Beach's fart rooms?
One of. Every room is Beach's fart room.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Any room with a door.
No.
And he doesn't always check if someone's in there. He doesn't always check.
Sometimes Beach just like kicks down the door, like lets rip and then leaves.
Yes!
Does he just like
No!
Does he peace?
He doesn't know you're in there, so he's just like, I'm being sneaky. And then you just get gassed. And it's like, he braces the door just to make sure that the fart doesn't try to open it and escape.
Right.
Yes, he closes the door.
He barricades the door. Don't you guys have restrooms?
They're farther away than some other rooms.
Look, the government can't tell you where to fart. As it's a fluid, it's covered by Admiralty law. So,
Shouldn't be a fluid, Cameron.
all gas... What are you farting? Am I being detained?
Flatus is protected speech. Flatus sounds like a government position acronym, like POTUS. First Lady, American Turnip Union Secretary.
Yeah, Flotus and Flatus. I mean, we got a skeleton and a cultist.
Kill Skelly.
Yeah, we might be able to get both of them.
Oh,
With a +1.
Oh.
Damage 0.
Well. First Lady of the United States. Flatus. Gladys. Gladys the Flatus.
Spontaneously expectorated an intact cast of the right bronchial tree following an extreme bout of coughing.
Yeah.
No shit.
Parry the Flatus.
Perry.
It's hard to get, like, not a lot of iframes on a fart. Yes. Oh. Alright, thank you.
Definitely.
Ah, it stings. Ah.
Like killing a pig in Bloodborne. There was a time where I was streaming Bloodborne and Julie came in and sat with me and I was fighting the pig. And she
you
said,
stuck your sword up its butt.
yeah, well, she said, it has an anus. And I say, it had an anus.
We've all got our vulnerable spots.
A pig's is its anus.
Yeah, I mean, I think backdooring a pig is better than aiming for the teeth, right?
I mean, ask David Cameron.
I was gonna. It's on my list, you know? I was gonna move, but now I'm not. Move. Yes. Thank you, Greg. know if pigs are like notoriously bitey, but everyone knows they can destroy a human body.
Baby carrots.
Is that yourself or?
Human bones are roughly as hard to bite through as baby carrots.
That seems like
We have-
uncooked.
We have a reflex. I don't know, reflex? We have a thing where we will not bite through something that feels like a finger unless we make an explicit effort to. There's some kind of reflex in us where we do not like doing that.
I agree with that reflex.
That's a myth? Oh, come on.
Because, like, chicken bones are harder than a baby carrot.
I did a thing, tested it.
At the joint.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different story. That I can get through. Yeah. I've done that to enough chicken wings. But can you replace your fingers with baby carrots?
Why not?
Carrot fingers. How do you store sugar for the winter? My carrot fingers.
I store it in my lard.
Yeah, mine's vegetable shortening.
Oh, yeah. No, that seems great. Oh, and it infuses green? Go at 36 so that you infuse green for Nice Greg.
Nice. First one picked?
Yep.
Yeah. Make it green. All right, and I'm in position to do the other one that I did last turn. I could dirt it up.
You could.
Mobilize. Yeah. I'll try it. I'll try it once. Okay. I made a mistake.
Oh?
I made Greg go fast.
Oh.
Oh well. What if no RNG?
I mean, started the cultist. Yeah, straight line. That one is more likely to die, yes.
That skeleton has dodged, like...
Yeah.
Ha!
Finally, it takes a hit. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. I think Gloomhaven runs into a problem that a lot of games run into, where you are not throwing enough dice in order to...
Well, there's no dice. Oh no, Greg Hart's dying!
There's not enough RNG to balance out RNG.
Yeah, because it's
Right.
just like the one card flip per target on attacks.
Yep. It's one of the reasons why I really like Kill Team. Lots of dice.
I don't know, speak for yourself. Sometimes I only get like 2 dice.
Really?
Yeah. At least on defense.
Oh, yeah. But, like, it's still better than 1, right?
Yes.
Where you just, like, roll 1 die to do a thing.
So is there really no, like, difficulty setting once you're in the game?
No, difficulty.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's already on easy. And I could play it on baby. Let's see what that encounter looks like on deadly.
Ugh. I mean, they'll be 3 levels higher. They'll have 1,000,000 hit points and
Okay.
one-shot us, right?
Well, I'm feeling like not looking much longer at Gloomhaven since you already played it.
Yeah, I thought you
I didn't know.
told me to, though.
But usually you skip to like do Destiny or something.
Right.
But I was just not paying attention. And I didn't check the wiki, the source of truth. So, should we pivot to another tactics game?
We could, yeah.
Or something completely different? Because I think Highland Song is still on here.
I mean, I've been playing a lot of Mechanicum at home, which is another tactics game.
Yeah. All right, let's 40K.
Okay, yeah.
So we're gonna take a break and then we're gonna pivot to a different game.
Sounds good. All right, see you shortly, chat. I'm a professional streamer. Hello,
And your
everyone.
name is Cameron.
I mean, allegedly.
And this is brought to you by you through support of our Patreon and here at twitch.tv. Loading21.
Good heavens.
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
So,
So-
Mechanicum, or Mechanicus, excuse me.
Yes, I've not played this one, I think.
From the moment
It has
I understood
the best sound design in a video game ever.
It disgusted me. I
Disgusting.
craved the strength and certainty of steel. I aspired to the purity of the blessed machine. Your kind cling to your flesh, as if it will not decay and fail you. One day, the crude biomass that you call the temple will wither, and you will beg my kind to save you. But I am already saved. For the machine is immortal.
So,
Even in death, I serve the undesire.
how familiar are you with the Adeptus Mechanicus in
Not
Warhammer 40K?
really even, other than Max is playing them and they kick my ass.
Okay, so quick primer, as much as anything can be quick. 40,000 years ago in the set. Oh, okay. The Adeptus Mechanicus are the tech priests of Mars.
Right.
They are a parallel society within the Imperium
Right.
that manages and manages for the most part all of the Imperium's, which
Skulls.
is yeah. They manage like all the factories and they build things. They They try to research lost technology.
Right.
They don't do any of their own development. None whatsoever. None. They don't do any research, because that would be super illegal.
Heresy.
Heresy. That would be tech heresy. They don't do that. None of that occurs here. Absolutely not.
Nope.
And if you've heard of anyone doing it, it's a lie. And we can prove to you it's a lie by shut up. Never happens.
Yep.
Absolutely never happens.
Never happens. All right, so I've played, I think a demo of either this or another tactics game, and I have played Chaos Gate.
Okay.
Is this the one where like there's like, if you sequence things properly, you get more action points during a thing?
Yes.
Yes.
You can cook off.
Oh.
It is called cognition, and it comes from certain kind of defeated enemies leave it behind, and it also shows up on the map. From
Right.
like you pull it out of obelisks. But just for like slightly more lore, the Adeptus Mechanicus worship a trinity of gods. There's the Omnissiah, there's the Machine Spirit, and then there is the... Is it just called the Machine God?
We'll wait until chat catches up.
Yeah, but it's roughly speaking like a trinity of gods.
Right.
And the reason that is tolerated within the Imperium is because everyone agrees that the Emperor is the Omnissiah.
Yes.
100%. The motive force. Thank you, Geo Dragon. The motive force. So the Emperor is 100% the Omnissiah. There was a treaty. They signed a piece of paper that says that that's what they believe.
Right.
And they 100% believe that. And in exchange, there's no Imperial Civil War.
Yes. Got it.
Got it. So you are playing tech priests in this game who are like, you know, they're tech priests. I don't know.
They get a third arm and gadgets.
And you are on this planet looking for old technologies.
Yeah.
And when you encounter Necrons.
Right. And they're green and juicy.
Yeah, and they glow, and they're
glow.
skeletons.
Yeah. Have you played Rogue Trader?
I have not. I have heard that the navigator in it is a great character because you need her.
Uh-huh.
And she is profoundly inbred and just says the most out-of-pocket shit you have ever heard in your life at any given moment.
Even out for, because like Warhammer 40k, they're like, oh, we're Inquisitors and we're gonna do the thing.
Mm-hmm. This is like if the hybrid in Battlestar Galactica could just follow you around the ship talking at you. And otherwise, I've also heard, like, I've seen a couple of screenshots, and the Dark Eldar you meet is just like, can't sit like a normal person. Refuses to.
Just Rikers all over the place.
Yeah. Like, he'll just find whatever throne is in the room you're in and like...
Lounge. Oh, yeah. It's me. I'm that picture. All right, so do you want to continue your game over Cloud Save, or do you want to pull in the intro lore dump and the intro missions?
This is a game where the first couple of missions have a weird difficulty bump.
Right.
Because you don't have very many capabilities yet. It's totally doable. It just does something really interesting in the first mission that I would like to hear your thoughts on.
Let's do it.
Okay. We're not here to comment on the difficulty at all. I just want to see the game.
Yeah. Adeptus Mechanicus. Machine God. Adeptus Mechanicus. Inscrutable Magi. Skitari.
Accurate.
Blah, 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 blah. A new dark age. Oh, it's Reddit.
Yeah, this is the only thing in this game that I'm like... The developers, like, they're very active on their subreddit.
Yep.
They play tested the game a lot with people from the subreddit, and so the Servo Skull is Redditans.
It's us, Reddit.
Yeah.
Festinius is a totally trustworthy name.
Absolutely.
Let's make some deals.
Everyone's voice in this game is awesome.
Mm-hmm. I like how far across the table this conversation is happening, because Redditus is over there, and then I think Festinius is just way up, the other way.
But in the noosphere, there is no distance. They aren't in the room together.
Then why are all these candles burning?
They aren't. This isn't their reality, right? They're talking in the noosphere.
4 months later. They're talking over Wi-Fi.
Yeah. They're in the KU band.
It'd be a shame if we found any secrets. Hee hee hee. Such wonders.
Scavola's great.
I agree with that. Oh no, now I've imagined them all having like Valley Girl. Like that vocal fry. They've all acquired that from years of
Oh god, they've all got the exact same vocal fry.
Yeah. I agree, Dr. Ligma. Adeptus Mechanicus. Platypus is controlling me. Yes. Behold, my Chaosinator! Flip the switch, makes a hole in the warp.
Ba-ba-dum. Yeah, Husk.
How long have you been working at a Husk? Welcome to the channel.
You can just fire that from the hip at this point, I think.
I think so. Just a text expander. I also like Erilyn points out that the coordinates, they're at pi.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you and your bros just meet up at pi and take the war to them.
Ah, well memed, good sir.
Whee! Free points.
Yep. Ooh, what do we want to do?
How quickly can we heresy?
Pretty quickly.
I think, yeah, if we look at this thing, I think we can just go right into it.
Monsters!
Take the fight to them.
Alright, let's kick some ass bones.
They're made of metal. Smiling Mammoth has pointed out that because of the stream overlay, our Blackstone pile is where
The bits go?
bits go.
Amazing. Okay.
We are all the way top down.
This is just like the start.
Who gave them guns?
They did.
Alright. Just gonna crack into this Capri Sun.
It does a bunch of things, like you can break up your move. It's generally a very friendly design, except for a couple of like problems I have with it.
Strong enemies?
It's not always abundantly. It does a thing where you will, at the start of a mission, it will tell you whether a mission is easy, hard, or easy, normal, or hard.
Right.
That has nothing to do with how powerful the enemies are within it. It has to do with how quickly the alarms and the difficulty ramping in the mission ramps up.
Right.
So when they added the expansion, all of the missions in it are like have very advanced enemies, but they're labeled as easy. So I was like, oh cool, I've been playing for a couple of hours on Iron Man.
I must be okay at this.
Yeah, and it says easy, so I'm gonna try this. And it's just like, you can't hurt anything, and they one-shot all of your guys. And it's just like, well, that punted an Iron Man run. So that's cool, I guess. But mainly, I really enjoy the characters and the audio design in this game. because both the AdMech and the Necrons are, they're robot people in one way or another.
A little bit.
The AdMech are, the Necrons are all metal, right? They long ago lost,
Fleshy.
the flesh part of their bodies, of their lives, and they're, they exist in a state of undeath for that. The AdMech are on their way there, and it's absolutely not because they have a Necron god on Mars.
Are we sure about that?
No. Probably the reason the AdMech are like they are is because the Void Dragon is on Mars. Occasionally they will run across Forge worlds out in the galaxy that they haven't had contact with for, since the Dark Age of technology.
Right.
Right, like, when human society collapsed for the first time, the AdMech on Mars, or the Mechanicum as they were at the time,
Right.
would sent out expeditions, generation ships, right? Slower than light travel. And they went out into the dark and were never heard from again. So occasionally, when the humans were expanding back out into the galaxy after the warp storms quieted down, they would run across these Forge worlds, and they were all exactly like Mars.
Wild.
Like, they had all developed in exactly the same way, and they had completely recognizable stuff. Their culture was very similar. Like, they'd been out of contact for 10,000 years. And it's like,
But it's
why?
like looking in the mirror, it's Spider-Man pointing.
Yeah, why are they all this consistent? And the theory that I like is that all of those Forge worlds were probably founded on Necron, tomb worlds.
Right.
And they're all, converging on the same kind of,
They're all heading in the same direction just
Yeah.
because that's part of the foundational guiding force.
Yeah, that they all, that because they're all stealing from the same source, that's why all of their shit looks the same. Ow! Grab that guy's shit. Oh, we're out of range for that. All right, so when you destroy a Necron, it will reanimate in a couple of turns unless you shoot it again.
Why won't you stay down?
Show me your secrets. Oh,
Empty.
Okay. I shouldn't say that happens super frequently. I know of at least one time where they found a isolated Forge world that, for whatever reason, looked exactly like Mars. They spoke the same language.
Which is wild.
Yeah, it was a Forge world called Xana.
What does Xana do?
A stately pleasure dome decree. Intrigue. Uh-oh.
It woke in the hive.
Did it look suspiciously like Vancouver? Weird, yeah. My favorite example of Vancouverism in television was in the X-Files, where in just one episode, Mulder was looking for Scully, and he was supposed to go to this trolley car to the top of a mountain.
Right.
And there was a message. He recognized the message was this place's slogan. It's supposed to be way out in the middle of nowhere,
Is it just
Arkansas.
Grouse Mountain?
It's Grouse Mountain, and you can see Vancouver in the background. right as he's going up the trolley car.
Yep.
Like they didn't bother to like.
Could have gone to Hell's Gate. Like,
Yeah, or they could have like done something with the camera angles. But I love that they didn't really care.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is the artifice of it, right? Like we're not going to try to conceal this because everyone knows it's
Yeah.
right. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. And then we get little dudes now.
Little meow meows. I think because of stuff like that, whenever something is set in Canada, I always get slightly weirded out.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's just the novelty of it when someone pulls out like a $5 bill and it's blue and it has hockey people on it,
Or like,
or a loony.
I always like it when a bus drives by with a street name on it that I recognize. Bwang.
Show me your moves.
Ah, he has 2 points of physical armor. I see. We have no canticles.
Yeah, more like canticles.
Anyway, I just enjoy how, like, this game does some interesting things, but mainly I think it thrives on the strength of its characters and its writing. Because the AdMech are, they're out having a great time in this world.
Yeah.
Them, the orcs, and the Dark Eldar are all actually kind of living their best lives
Just
for
having
very
fun.
different reasons.
On a romp.
Yeah. I would love to know how the voices were done, because they're clearly actors reading lines, but then they've been processed and like turned backwards and upside down, and it makes them sound alien, but it also retains a certain humanity, right? Because they're human voices under all of that, and I think that's really, I don't know, it feels correct for them.
Oh no, scarabs.
Cat Coast. Some Canadian cities do that. In particular, Calgary, about 15 years ago, made a bunch of suburbs.
Right. It was like
where all the
Colwood
streets had the same name, but a different type of street in this like little cul-de-sac.
Yep.
Like a little, you would have like, I don't know, it would be called Silverwood, right?
They do a bit of that here.
A little bit, but like I've been in some neighborhoods in Calgary where it's absolutely like an innavigable mess. You have to live there to know, because it's also not consistent. right? It's like street into like the same name, crescent and boulevard and road and
Avenue.
yeah. Like who designed this? It's completely inscrutable.
It's not even on a grid.
Yeah. But who is this for? I guess it's to confuse invaders.
Little trap streets.
Or delivery people. I delivered your pizza to like 1283, Silver Ass Crescent. And you're like, no, I'm on Silver Ass Boulevard.
East.
Yeah. I will say that Calgary was actually really easy to, it was a city that was really easy to travel in because since it's on a grid pattern, with the streets and roads are numbered and then built into quadrants.
And then you've got just like your major roads like the Deerfoot, Shaganappi, Twilliger, Nose Hill.
Yeah, but like it was easy to know which direction you were going in because you would just like pay attention to whether the streets were incrementing or decrementing. So it was easy to move in, but it was miserable to be in. Right?
Yeah, no, Edmonton's mostly numbered streets. Some of them have nicknames, so it's a numbered street. Like 82nd Avenue is White Ave.
Yeah.
But like some of the major pipelines have names like the White Mud or the Anthony Henday, which took them forever to finish, but it's a ring road that goes around Edmonton.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
I think it's like downtown. It's like 100 and 100th is kind of the middle, and then I think if you go north or west, the numbers go up, and then east and south, the numbers go down. But my brain can't. It cannot.
Fair.
It's just like, how close to Gateway is that, which is Calgary Trail?
And then there's Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky Drive? Yeah,
Gretzky
that's
Drive?
pretty short, though, and that goes by the Coliseum, or the stadium.
Okay, this next mission has the thing in it that actually, like, tickled my brain a little bit when it happened.
Yeah.
Because it's a very organic moment. And it plays with something that you have come to accept and take for granted at this point in the game. Like, you're half an hour in, you're clicking on things, and you're having fun, right? And you've come to, like, kind of buy into the concept of the thing. And then what happens in this next mission, like, inverts that in a very, like, fun way. I also just like how the mission, the dialogue will be the people who have been assigned to the mission, and then every once in a while you just get like a rando chiming in who's been like, yeah, I've been listening to you guys. Anyway.
Hello.
Yeah.
I wake with the turning of aeons. Stars yet to burn, life yet to blossom. Is it truly time? What is this? Flesh and steel combined. A mockery.
Run. I just really enjoyed that the Necrons speak English.
Omnilinguistic.
But it's like, it makes it feel like they are speaking directly into your brain. Because you're kind of like, the subtitles combined with the voice acting makes you feel like it's a bit more work to understand the tech priests.
Yep.
Like you are trying to pay attention to what they're saying because you recognize kind of like, you know, just like fragments of elements of
Consonants
speech.
and stuff.
Yeah. Like you can hear the mouth noises from the actors kind of a little bit in their speech. But, you know, it's a very conscious effort to like read text and listen to them. And then when the Necrons talk to you, it's like directly into the back of your brain, which I think is cool.
Insects. This galaxy is infested with vermin.
Also, they have very recognizable faces, right?
Yeah.
Like the tech priests, you like hunt around for eyes and noses and mouths a bit. They're all there, but they're stylized. We're gonna load a flank.
Go, my little meat sacks.
I sailed the void for 1,000 years. I fought the war in heaven. What can you do to strike fear in one such as I?
Wow, I've got narcs in chat. Maybe someone should like deal with this Lord Hosk character. Beefy.
That probably did something.
Then you make little Zoidberg noises.
Let's see what we're up against. Now he's got 5 points of physical armor. We're not hurting him. So this is what you can do. You can like collect cognition and that will give you extra movement speed.
But now there's no juice for that man.
Oh, he can collect it remotely.
Oh.
It's fun.
pathing.
Yeah, the pathing's a little,
Servos will do that just for fun.
Oh, right. They've got weirdly cognition point heavy weapons.
Let's so
Ow!
you drink from those Capri Suns. Just crack open those glowing green pods.
Yeah, you crack open you crack open the boys with a cold one. No, I don't know where he's probably going to try to run to get one of the tech priests.
Dare these wretched things stand before the Void Admiral of Cesaragon?
That's fine, he's supposed to look like that. He's sleeping.
That's why the score was, oh my god. I think you're being followed.
He's still there, isn't he? We scuffed the surface.
Ah, we spit at you.
Yeah, like it's I think it's fairly trivial to get to where we're going.
Right?
Um
Once you know attacking the large man isn't really worth it.
yeah. Smash him with a stick.
System works.
And it's also a fairly friendly system in that if you end the turn standing next to a cognition source, you just automatically pick it up. Or if you are fighting an enemy in melee combat
Right.
and kill it, and it generates cognition on its death, you'll automatically collect it.
So you can kind of keep like a really positive cognition flow.
Yeah, yeah. It like many of the games, these kinds of games, it is, it's all action economy. Right? Babies, follow me.
I don't know if all the babies are gonna make it. Oh my god, absorbed.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
No one will notice this missing.
Yoink! Sir, did you just yoink a Necron Lord?
No take backsies.
I have no intention of takesies backseeing.
Get it.
The problem is, I I think it's probably possible to kill this guy.
I can't remember what happens if you do.
Have you played this before?
I played the demo.
Oh,
That's why I
okay.
knew it was the one where you get additional action points that for
Right,
harvesting
yes.
things.
Right. It just feels like kind of a pain. I don't know. I suppose you could, right? Like, he's got 5 points of energy armor.
Yeah.
So you just use your physical weapons and could probably, like, DPS him down eventually.
Tire sus?
Yeah. I guess it's like Tyresis?
Maybe. Or tire sus.
These tires are awfully sus. Go to put my winter tires on. They're
Tires are sus.
Tires are sus, I don't know.
Or tires us?
Tires us?
I'm gonna suss ya. Just put that in your Mechanicus.
Oh my god.
Mechanicus?
Mechanicus. I mean, the one that works the best is still the Horus Heresy.
Heresy? That's why heresy is so frowned upon.
Nearly split the Imperium in two.
It's like his story, but this is her ussy. You heard me. Did that we say we unlocked Exopis?
Acropus. It's one of the...
Acropis.
Yes. We get to level up our dudes. Oh my god. We can turn off the tutorials now.
Yay!
No!
Maybe you should have done that before you clicked any more buttons.
No! Go away! Go away, Reddit.
What do you mean last night, deer piss? Weren't they playing a mushroom game? My apologies for my ecology.
I'm still kind of surprised that Victoria has a neighborhood called Tillicum, and they have yet to generate an I Scream, You Scream style t-shirt.
I'll scream for...
Only it wouldn't be Scream.
Oh!
No, I don't want any of the tutorial stuff. Maybe it's all over now. Maybe we won't have to do it anymore. The Dominus tree is... No, go away! Go away! Go away!
Reddit's still there. Just waiting. Waiting to comment. Yes, I find giving ranged upgrades to characters with ranged weapons to be, good. I've turned off your targeting servo skull.
And then we can give... I like the Xenorite one. It's the one where you, like, burn health to do more damage and then regenerate health. It's kind of fun. Yeah, Hosk, Tillicum is reasonably affordable. It's a little bit out there, but... What do we got? Ooh. Ooh, that's actually nice. The axe doesn't have a cognition cost. What's Scavola offering us? It'll still be there. But I do like getting this.
Just imagine an axe that you have to think to use.
I like when I don't have to think while using an axe at all. You just come back to having axed a question.
Fog lifts.
So all of these missions are like, these are all set and designed. The order they happen in is random, kind of, but like the events are scripted. So you can kind of like check online to see what the good answers are. And frankly, I don't like this element of the design very much. Right. While traversing this chamber, the sensor servitor crosses a part of the floor that collapses under the machine's weight. The servitor is trapped at the bottom of the shaft of machinery and pipework and must be extricated.
Do you remember Unmountable, the rock climbing one where you end up with special events? It's like stick your hand in the deer guts.
Yeah, and it's like there's
What
no
happened?
way. Yeah, there's no way to predict like.
Doesn't this game show you which one's the heresy option eventually?
I think you might be able to like see things eventually, but it just feels like kind of a this is the feel bad in the game, I would say, where you don't you I don't know what the good answer is going to
So
be.
it's like the city and road events in Gloomhaven.
Yeah. There is a best path, but you actually have to, like, play through it enough to gain familiarity with the events. Yeah, it makes it difficult to make informed choices. You either know what the good outcome is or not.
Right.
Yeah, that was the bad one, I think.
Well, why'd you do that?
Yeah. I guess this is kind of a role-playing thing, but it doesn't... There's no consistent character to it. Oh no, wait, we actually got a new piece of gear out of that. Cool.
Worth it.
I guess that was the good event.
Man. When you can't tell good from bad. Man. These AdMech.
All I want is for the game to tell me what the outcome of everything will be beforehand, so I can feel good about it.
So you can make the correct choice.
Yeah.
Gosh, you would not like the solitaire games I've been playing. It's just like, look, all the cards are revealed. I'm like, thanks, game. That really helps.
I know I've been playing this too much because I know what all the glyphs do.
Boom.
Too many nephrons.
Would you like to take a break before the battle starts?
Yeah, sure.
Ignorance. What if we just ignored them?
I mean, we could. Oh.
Yep.
This is like a haiku.
First, I wake up, and then I go to sleep. The undead.
Yeah, let's take another quick break before the mission.
Okay.
All right. See you in a few short minutes, chat. Hello, everyone. We are back. So, let's just do the
Get it.
mission.
Get her done. Hoorah.
Okay, there are monsters. Oh, right.
Meat shields.
Yep. The servitors are nice because not only will the Necrons usually shoot them first if you put them out in front, but whenever they get shot, you get a cognition point. Every time a servitor takes damage, you learn more about the enemy.
Woo, free stuff.
Yep. It's a very elegant mechanic.
Welcome,
Hey.
Raiders.
How's it going, Adam?
Hope y'all are excited for Alan Wake tonight.
Are they finally?
They're doing it.
Nice.
Oh!
No, wait. I can collect. Yes.
Yay! Yum. yes. Elevator?
It is going from here to here.
Yeah, up to down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gun 1.
Oh, wow. Yeah, now I'm looking at that. The Smiling Mammoth points out that the servitor avatar from, like, the top row always looks like they're wearing a top hat.
Yeah. Only at a jaunty
A
angle.
little jaunty, like, how do you do, ma'am?
Yeah. Little
Get some
chapeau.
Little soft shoe in there.
Now we're just gonna surround this guy and bully him.
Oh my god.
Gonna cry, gonna cry, gonna cry, gonna cry, gonna cry, gonna cry. No,
Get back in your locker.
No,
Get back in your
no,
locker.
I'm not gonna cry.
Yeah, give me your ancient tech lunch. Yeah. I'm gonna do stuff to it. It's not heresy. I swear.
Punch the computer.
Works every time.
And then we take his change.
More bits for the bit god. Pew pew.
I don't know. I really like the Dominus tree, which is the shooting tree, mainly because you get just a lot of movement and you can
Shoot.
yeah, you shoot a lot, and the way that it lets you split up your move
Yeah.
means you can pop out, shoot.
Pop back in.
Yeah, it feels satisfying and clever. We won! And yeah, the music is fun. People like the music in this game. They're like, oh my god, it's like dubstep, only there's a pipe organ drop. Which I feel is game appropriate, right? I think it sells the feel very well. And it's different, right? It is diagnostic of this game when you hear it. It's pretty hard to mistake it for anything else. But it is very clearly like a product of late teens internet culture, between like the character named after Reddit
Yep.
and the organ dubstep, right? Like it's very kind of like, well memed, good sir.
Chapeau.
And it sounds like I'm kind of dumping on it a bit, but I enjoy it. It has a charm. anything new, Scaevola? But if we do a mission for Videx, we get a Skitari Ranger Alpha.
I bet those enemies are pushovers.
Oh yeah, it's probably fine. Canthrites, these guys do poison?
Like acid dots.
Yeah. We should probably start Scaevola's mission. She's a fun character. It's hilarious. She's the meme lord.
She only knows basic.
Yeah. Like, if this game had been made in the early 2000s, it would have been, Leet Speak.
They did that in one of the Mario Luigi games, and it was actually pretty funny. It was
Okay.
like the Hammer Bros.
Okay. Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. But, like, I don't know. This has a bit of, like, a Homestuck vibe to me, where there is the awareness of the greater culture around it that's kind of being, like, drawn into it a bit.
Me go into battle?
No.
Me?
No.
No. That's not optimal.
That is inefficient.
That's why I won't be doing that.
That does not play to my strengths.
What if we drank them?
Just crack one open like a Capri Sun. I think she told us to grab it. Okay, that was the good outcome. Usually they'll give you like a little kind of hint as to what the best outcome will be. Like, these events are tough, right? Or at least they feel tough to balance, because you don't want it to be a trivial matter to just be like, ah, yes, I select the good outcome.
Right.
Ideally, it would let you play kind of like a risk-reward system, where you have the mechanic of the
Timer.
Yeah, the timer.
And then you just push against that.
Yeah, you can either choose to ratchet the timer down, or you can try to get some more kind of reward, like currency or XP.
Acquire and acquire plus.
Well, I would like to acquire plus. Let this be a lesson to you. You can always grab more shit. Just stuff your pockets.
We call it acquire plus. Nice of the Necrons to leave so much candy around for us.
I know. People will occasionally, like when you are moving back and forth between Warhammer Fantasy, what is now the Age of Sigmar, and Warhammer 40k, people will try to find like parallels between the armies. And some of them are pretty straightforward. Orcs are orcs.
Orcs are orcs.
Chaos is chaos, pretty much, right? The demons are literally the same models. And occasionally people will ask for like 40k equivalent of Skaven, who are the rat men.
Isn't Tyranids?
The Tyranids are more kind of like, I think the Tyranids are very particular to 40k. They're very kind of like...
Their stuff doesn't blow up on them.
I mean, mechanically speaking, I would say the Tyranids probably have the most in common with the undead factions, in that they are both horde armies that rely on a lot of psychology factors. Like, at least in 2nd edition 40k, the Tyranids caused a lot of fear and terror, which was something that, undead skeletons also did. But I would say that the Admech are the Skaven, right? They've got a lot of, like, weird technology. They're very, like, insular, and there's a lot of, like, internal conflict between them. They wear a lot of, like, big covered robes. They're visually very similar to the Skaven. And they're greedy, right? Like, they always want to get more stuff, and they're very kind of indifferent to risk.
Right. Break it.
Break it? I think this is one of the bad ones. Oh, actually, like, this is, you get an additional cognition, but, the tomb wakes up a bit faster. That's probably fine. And I like these branching ones where you can be like, oh, I can go over here and maybe get something good, but it will probably push the timer ahead.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of decision tree I like. It's the fact that inside the node, you can't really anticipate how things are going to go. Unless there is... Sorry, I just slapped the microphone. Unless there is an additional, like, nuance that I'm not really paying attention to when I'm clicking through the dialogue as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah, let's pull this a little this way so that you can still rest your elbow.
Thank you.
So that you can be on camera. Very Darkest Dungeon without the combat part, so Darkest Dungeon 2.
Yeah, like, I mean, Darkest Dungeon had these kind of, like, branching maps where you could try to explore all the rooms, but generally I'm not sure what the actual mechanic was in Darkest Dungeon, whether your guys didn't like backtracking as a mechanic, or whether their stress just kind of ratcheted up anyways.
Yeah, just keep going, so it costs you food and light and stress.
Right. They hated backtracking? Okay. I could never tell if it was that they disliked backtracking or if I just was more conscious of like a passive stress buildup whenever I was backtracking. Kill all enemies. That doesn't sound like us. And because I've played this mission like 100 times, I just know where everything spawns. Smash the computer. back into our hidey hole. And then I'll move these 2 servitors over here for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I should probably just play all of Darkest Dungeon. It is a good game. All right, buddy, I believe in you. Get in there. You're gonna do great. You're gonna do great. I'm gonna shoot that because that'll ratchet down the awakening level a bit. He's fine. He's fine.
He's fine.
He's fine. He's fine. He's still fine.
Oh no! Oh no! He's gone. What did you do?
Not my
what
little
did you
dude.
do?
Not my little dude.
Well, well, well. What do we have here?
2 burly men. Ow, my 1. Yeah, I had a lot of the similar problems with Darkest Dungeon Host, where I didn't like how often people would die and die quite, like, it felt arbitrarily. I didn't like some of the random encounters where you get, what is it, the collector who shows up and can just, like, kill
Kick your ass.
like 2 or 3 of your party members really quickly.
And then once you get later in the game and you've like all of your stress levels are high, it's just like you're on the knife edge of them having a heart attack.
Yeah, you're always just like, it feels like whether you succeed or fail is really arbitrary.
Acid.
Ow. Yeah, sometimes you can make no mistakes and still lose. It doesn't make it any fun, though, you know? That may be life, but... You know, I'm paying rather more a month for like. Actually, let's hide. Let's make him work for it.
Can't see him.
Ow! It's so corroded, y'all.
Oh, right. There's a Baba Is You tactical game.
There's a what?
Baba Is You. I think it's free if you get it now. I think it's on itch, but they'll be releasing for Steam later.
I'm completely unfamiliar with that.
With Baba Is You?
Yeah.
It's a block pushing puzzle game where you can set the rules of reality by pushing words near each other and making like sentences.
Oh, interesting.
So you could be like, flag is win, arrow keys is move, Baba, that kind of thing. And Baba is like your little player character thing.
Okay.
And so now they've made a more complicated game that's a tactics game where you also, I think, do block pushing.
Neat.
That's like that. What's that little grid game? The little 8x8 grid where everything's kind of Into the Breach. There we go. It's like the puzzle levels for Into the Breach, but
Oh, okay.
also logic puzzles.
Ooh. I own Into the Breach. I should probably just play it.
We should probably do it on this stream.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. I don't know, Decaped. Baba Is You is great, but there's also stuff like Steven's Sausage or like some other like Sokoban like block pushing stuff.
I kind of like how often Scaevola will say things like, okay, well, like, I understand what you're saying, but you were also saying that what I did was right. So, thank you.
Okay, 2016. Steven's Sausage Roll is still within the last decade.
Okay.
I just figure it would be like streaming The Witness, where it's just like you're just like crunching puzzle data. Oh yeah. Time is move when you is move. The super hot version of Baba Is You. Yeah. Which is cool. I like that variation.
Yeah, I think I prefer the one that doesn't use cognition. But what if I give him the Phosphor Serpenta?
What if?
What if? What if? What if he just blasts people? There was a Friday the 13th sliding Sokoban. Hilarious. We probably don't have time to get through another mission, but I don't know. I just enjoy a lot of what this game does inside the fairly well-defined boundaries of a tactics game. I like the cognition mechanic where you can acquire resources from around the map and then use them to take additional actions. I think that's fun, and it feels
really good.
well, and it also feels very in-universe appropriate, that it's very easy to get too greedy with your tech priests. Right? Like, it feels spot on as a way of getting your tech priests into too much trouble by just being like, yeah, but I can, like, get around the corner, collect a cognition point, then move over here, take a shot, I'll be able to get into close combat, and I'll hit him with my axe, and then everything's going to work out great.
It's totally great.
Yeah.
Works every time.
And
then it's just like, oh my god, my guy's alone across the map, and they all have guns.
Mm-hmm. But don't worry, I'll use this other random bullshit to just dig my way out.
Right, because you can like gift points after you with some of the abilities, right?
Well, it's a shared pool.
Oh,
So like you can pull off some very satisfying moves if you just get greedy hard enough.
also thank you, Nickus, for pointing out Paccaret down in the Bun Burrows. I'm gonna check that out.
Mm-hmm. I like. I don't know. I like the writing of the characters. I like that the Scaevola, who is the
Meme
Styges 8 meme lord. She's fun. She's got fun writing. She's always like pushing her luck and what is it called? Edge stepping? When somebody is always just like dipping their toe over the line of the boundary they were given.
Pushing. Are we gonna say edging?
I mean, tempting fate. Yeah, like she's always pushing her luck.
Towing the line.
Towing the line is when you like, yeah.
You're right on the edge, but...
And she's a very easy character to kind of like. And, Videx
jerk
is
face.
the jerk face. He's the, like,
I'm
orthodox
grumpy
one.
I'm tradition.
But he's not wrong either, right?
He just wants to dampen Xeno's taint.
Yeah. He's the one who's always pointing out, like,
That means make damp, right?
Yeah, make damp. He's the one who's always pointing out, like, yeah, but they're fucking dead. How much could they have possibly known? Right? Like, they clearly failed. Why are we looking to them for guidance? And I enjoy that. Then there's the other characters.
Classic
which we don't
leader, classic lady who's good at swords.
Yeah. The Skitari commander.
Yeah.
She's like basically just trying to be polite enough that people don't throw her troops away for no reason. Ro is the shipmaster. He's like, can you please, like, hey, there was an entire cinematic where it showed our ship getting fucked up. Is anyone else working on? No, it's just me.
Just me.
Just me. Okay, cool. And then, oh god, I forget these other two names. This is the guy who does all the boss fights.
Ah.
So they become available fairly early on. You can decide to just like fight a couple of the bosses earlier. They'll probably rock you.
Okay.
And then this is the DLC guy.
Ah.
And he's always trying to get you to fight rebels on your own ship.
Okay. Are the missions like shipboard then?
They are.
Okay. Are they less green?
They're less green. Yeah, they're very visually distinct. I don't think they push the awakening timer
nice.
at all.
Yes.
Because you're not
Dealing with the Necrons.
well, you're not fucking around on their tomb planet, right? I don't think they push the awakening at all. So it's a fun, like they're all bottle episodes essentially. And they interact with one another. It's fun. It's a fun game that I like. I was kind of mid on it at first because I found it didn't really...
Challenge was too high, or...
It wasn't quite that. I found it didn't do a great job of communicating what the risks and rewards would be.
Right.
Which I think is fairly actually important in a game like this.
It stops you from getting frustrated.
Yeah. Like the fact that the DLC missions are listed as easy,
Yeah.
but the level difficulty is not based around how challenged the enemies are. It's based on how much it interacts with like the Necron
timeline.
Awakening mechanics.
Right.
So these like inherently don't, but you wind up against enemies that have like 5 points of shields and 40 health, who one-shot your
Like
dudes.
that boss from the first
Yeah.
tutorial mission.
So, you go through a couple of these starting missions. You're 2 hours into the game, and you're like, oh, well, this is listed as easy, and it looks different and fun, and there are different rewards. You're fighting, like, rogue tech priests. That sounds interesting. I'm going to do that. All of my guys are dead, and I didn't save, right? So, fuck this game. At least with this guy, it's very clearly, like, everything's in capital letters. It's a boss mission.
Ah,
And then the vibe is really strong. I also like this. If you hold down the spacebar, it shows you the noosphere view, and I don't really know what that's for, but I like that it's there. Also, the noosphere is actually a term from medieval theology. What does noosphere mean?
that's where the Nuos are. Also,
A postulated sphere or stage of evolutionary development dominated by consciousness, the mind, and interpersonal relationships, frequently with reference to the writings of Teilhard de Chaldin. Oh, it's... Teilhard de Chaldin is also the guy who developed the Omega Point, i.e. everything that rises must converge.
So we messed up
Oh?
our schedule. We were on board to play No Man's Sky today.
No! That would explain why there were confused people in chat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, maybe we'll play No Man's Sky next week?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's gotten a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of come back to it once a year, right?
Pretty much.
And it's always got something new and interesting going on. Also, didn't they just announce they have a new game, under
Yep.
development? And it's got a very similar cadence to the name.
But you get to ride a dragon.
Yeah, it's like fantasy No Man's Sky. Light no
Like-
fire.
Yeah.
Anyway, the vibe's immaculate, and if you are...
Looking to click on some dudes and move
Yeah.
them around a board.
I think I had a lot more fun with this game when I realized I did not need to have Iron Man permadeath.
You didn't have to play
on-
Cameron mode?
Yeah, because honestly, I'm not very good at these games, and I have nothing to prove. Right.
That's good. That's a
Yeah.
healthy realization.
Yeah, like I don't need to do this to myself. And nobody's gonna judge me for not playing it on the hardest difficulty. And like my partner has no concept of why I make myself this unhappy all the time.
Yep.
A game should be fun. A game should be fun.
I mean, it's not stopping me from playing Spider-Man on spectacular mode.
Yeah, I mean, doing roguelikes. I really want to try to do a UI-less playthrough of Sekiro. Where you actually have to, like, read the animations to know if it's, like, a parry, a dodge, or a block.
Oh.
Doesn't that feel awesome? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that feel good to just, like, do well?
Yeah. I was thinking, like, Karmazu has a UI-less mode, too. So it's just, like, cute little characters bouncing around. I want to do that. But now chat's talking about Pathologic, and yeah, that's more in the... Yeah, there's basically one difficulty mode in that game.
Yeah, well, Pathologic has the problem where it's, like, very difficult or challenging, but also it's a little broken.
Did you play the first one?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's I never put it on our Talking Sim stuff just because the UI is a little less friendly,
Yeah.
and you need all the help you can get.
Yeah, like it's objectively a cool game and an interesting game with fun writing. Disclosure: I know a couple of the people who did the localization in English on it. So I'm predisposed to feel sympathetic towards it. But everything I've heard is that it's like also it has some design issues that make the difficulty really unfun in a lot of places.
Yeah, and a lot of it's like it's the kind of game maybe you should take notes playing.
Right. Okay.
So you can remember where you can get Schmouter, Anyways, that's enough video games for today.
Agreed.
We'll be back later.
I'm gonna go and do chores.
Different video games.
Yeah, but on a different day.
Yeah.
So, we'll see you then.
Goodbye.